Welcome to the beautiful beast. Morning van lifers and those who have been following the beautiful beast for the last 12 months. We wanted to just do a final video just to sum up our last 12 months, which has been amazing. We had a fantastic journey. We left the UK on the 10th of January, kind of whipped through France, didn't hang around France too long. Did go and visit some Stacey and Jez in France, which was nice. Went into northern Spain. We touched on northern Spain, but we very much would like to revisit northern Spain. It's an amazing part of Spain, and I think you have to go there at the right time of year. But it kind of reminds us of North Devon, but probably with better surf and better weather. Then down into Portugal. Portugal was amazing. Nazaré, especially the big wave spot. It's good to spend some time there. We really enjoyed that. And then worked down through Spain, Portugal. Yeah, Portugal is definitely, especially for my wife, she absolutely loved Portugal. And I think we're going to definitely go down there and spend some more time down there. And I think future for us, we're also thinking of maybe buying a little place down there and doing it up, and that might create little videos as well. So, but that's in the future. That's not in the present. Went into Spain briefly, then went into Morocco. Morocco was amazing. Atlas Mountains, and all of northern Morocco was great. Really scenic, beautiful, very friendly people. Went down to the desert, spent a few days down in the desert, which was well worth the drive. If you go to Morocco, make the effort to take the drive down south and go and visit the dunes in Mazuka. And there's lots of other tracks. I think if I went again, I would spend more time on some adventures and going off-road a little bit more than we did. This was our first major trip away, so we were a bit careful, let's say, about going off-piste. Anyway, back into Spain. We spent a lot of time in Spain, as most people do growing up. So we didn't spend a great deal of time, although yeah, it was pretty amazing. Did bump into Denise and the family. That was good to spend a couple of hours with them. And then we went down to went up to Barcelona, across on the ferry to Rome, down the coast of Rome. Unfortunately, we got broken into. We've learned some lessons from that, and we'll be implementing those lessons learned into the truck and into ourselves going forward. We are kind of at blame as well as to what we lost. Now we lost it, so a bit naive, but we won't be repeating that. But did meet an amazing Italian family that hopefully they're going to come visit us. So to Max and Marcia and Nicole and the other daughter, which I can't remember her name. We would like to. We're internally grateful, and they're going to come and visit hopefully us in the UK, and we can spoil it. We can return the what they gave to us, which was a lot of love, and they looked after us, and it was great. Took the ferry out of Italy in Brindisi, and then into Albania, which was a bit of a culture shock. But generally, we loved Albania. very, very friendly people, immensely. We really enjoyed the time there. The beaches, in some areas, all right, so I'll cut to the chase. Some beaches are not great in Albania. Others are where there's bars and stuff that are kept reasonably clean and they're nice. But Albania has a horrendous fly tipping issue, which they need to sort out really. Other than that, it's just an amazing country. I would definitely go back. Down into Greece and spent 3 amazing months in Greece and met some amazing van lifers. The highlight for me was the snorkeling. Really, really enjoyed it. It was great fun. Went to some lovely little horseshoe bays, not too many people, away from everything, and just great fun. So thoroughly enjoyed that. Out of Greece, back into Albania for the second time, but through a different route, more central, and then into Montenegro, which was stunning. There is no two ways about it. Parts of Montenegro are just amazing. And unfortunately the weather turned on us. It was bound to at some point, middle of November, it started getting a bit cold. We spent more time in the truck than outside the truck, which is what we hadn't been doing for months and months and months and months. And then eventually we had to start making our way. So out of Montenegro into Croatia, because the fuel is a lot cheaper in Bosnia and Herzegovina, we travel through there. That's also a place, unfortunately we only really spent a day there, and that was mainly driving through it, but I would very much like to return there and spend more time there. The fuel and food are a lot cheaper there. People seem very friendly, although it's difficult to gauge it on just one day. So we came out of there, back into Croatia, into Slovenia, which we drove through, into Austria, which we drove through. We took the least route with high mountains to cover, so we didn't, we probably could have taken a better route, but it was just the route we needed to take. And even then we drove through a little bit of snow and very icy conditions when we were very high up, so we tiptoed through that, but we were up against it a little bit. In 2 days after we travelled through it, they had massive snowfall, and if we had not beaten the snow, we would have got ourselves in all sorts of drama, and we haven't got snow tyres, so we would have been slipping around like Bambi, I expect. So anyway, got into Germany, spent a few days in Germany before we got to the family, and went to towns which we haven't visited before. That was quite good, but it was getting cold. We did find some pictures where we could hook up the electricity so we could have the heating on. That was quite nice. And then spent a couple of weeks in Germany with family, my wife's German family, which was great. Spent some time with her sister and Ludwig. They were really hospitable, as always, really, and well looked after. And it was lovely to catch up with the whole family. And because we had more time, usually when we go to Germany, it's like for 2 or 3 days, and you rush around seeing everyone as quick as you possible. But we had 2 weeks, and we managed to see everyone and had time to have a good chat, not in and out like we normally are. So that was really nice. And then the hard slog back to the UK, we did 9 hours from Germany to Calais in one day. That was hard going, and we drove through some horrendous sleet storms, rain. Just generally that was a pretty tough drive. Got to Calais quite late. By the time we'd got sort of sorted and everything to get onto the Eurotunnel, I think it was about 11:30, so managed to get about 3 or 4 hours sleep, and then at 5:30 we had to be up awake, and then onto the tunnel. And then back in the UK, where unfortunately our truck had run out of MOT, so we couldn't legally drive anywhere in the UK, so we basically went directly to an MOT station. The beautiful beast failed on a handbrake, which I knew was it wasn't very cooperative. we were lucky. They were, to be fair to the garage we went to, they were really good in the sense that we didn't have to hang around too long for the MOT. They pretty much got us in straight away. And they said that, oh, you might have to wait until the afternoon to get the handbrake sorted out, and literally they did that an hour later. So I think by 1 o'clock we were away, MOT intact. We taxed the vehicle, we were legal, and we drove home. But obviously that was 6 or 7 hour drive from Ashford to Croydon, North Devon. And then when we got to the local town, we had to go shopping because we had no food. So we had to emergency buy a Christmas meal, and I was absolutely shattered by that point. I did not want to be in Tesco's, but we needed to get food, so we didn't have a lot of choice. So I think it was 9 o'clock when we got home to the house, and then obviously the next day was Christmas Eve, so a massive rush. Putting the sofa back in the house and other furniture, and we had to clean a bit, or clean quite a lot just before we started putting stuff back in cupboards and stuff. So that was all done. We managed to get through Christmas, get a Christmas dinner on the table with our 2 children, which we hadn't really seen, as our daughter had been away in Sydney, Australia for a year, so we'd seen her once in that year, and our son, we'd only seen him once in that year. So it was nice just to have the Basti, our daughter's boyfriend, was here as well. So there was just the 5 of us, and it was really nice. I mean, Basti is like our family anyway. So just the 5 of us. My dad, unfortunately, is not on mobile as he used to be, so he can join us. But in the afternoon, we went up to his house and spent a very nice Christmas afternoon with him. So back at home, so in total we did 9,950 miles, so just under 10,000 miles. The van, apart from one little issue, which we could have kind of lived with it, so a slight leak in Morocco, and we only realised that because we were servicing the vehicle. We were having the oil change, filters and fuel filters, etc. And I'd noticed that we were losing a bit of water, but I didn't know why. And we had a pipe changed that kind of runs around the engine. But in total, that was about €300. They did work on it for about 2 days. That's it. That was the only thing really that went wrong with the van. She started every time we wanted her. We never had an issue. She ran like she's a fantastic vehicle. And we're absolutely in love with her. She is a beautiful beast. She never failed us. So our intention now is, so some of we gained a few scratches, as you do. So our intention is to get some paintwork done on her and get her looking back to her absolute top beauty. And the MOT picked up a couple of minor little mechanical issues that we need to sort out. But we do intend to spend quite a few £1,000s getting her back to where she needs to be, and because it is our intention to continue with adventures. Unfortunately, we're definitely going to be here for a year, maybe 2, maybe even 3, not really sure, because obviously we need to get more funds, get our money back to where we need it to be, and we need to get the truck sort of where she needs to be. So, but our intention is to maybe next time start a little later, more in the spring, go north into Norway, Sweden, maybe Finland. We met some Finnish van lifers which we would like to hook up with and just say hello, and then into Estonia, Poland, where we met some lovely van lifers as well, so we'd like to go and see them. And then down in to Bulgaria, just to go to some different countries, end up in Turkey, maybe go to Georgia, which everyone's raving about. And then obviously my dream has always been to drive to India. So if that is, for me, my end destination, that's where I want to go, because he's not so keen. Hopefully she'll get her head around it. But that's it from the beautiful beast. And we won't be posting any videos for probably a year. So hold on to your subscription, because we will be doing some other adventures. It's just that at the moment we need to get some finances back in place. So, but that's it. Thank you very much to all our subscribers. I think we ended up with about 470. We averaged, I'd say, about 150, 130 views to our videos. Obviously, the break into the truck went a bit viral and ended up 52,000 views. Obviously, bad news travels faster than good news, but that's just the way the world crumbles. But we thoroughly enjoyed our trip. It was, and I would advise anyone. Financially, it wasn't so bad. We got rent for our property in Croyd. We pretty much live within what we were receiving rent-wise for our house. I think overall, the whole 12 months, rent aside as an income, we went over by a couple of grand. I think nothing much, pennies really. So what I'm trying to say is it's very financially viable, as long as you don't have a mortgage. So, to people at our time in life, and I would advise anyone to do it. Go for it. We never look back, and we absolutely enjoyed our journey. And we, having done that, we know we want to do that again, and maybe spend years doing it next time. But we need to be just kind of in a good position to do it, and which we will be given time. So that's it from the Beautiful Beast. We'll post as soon as we know the adventure's coming up, just to give you some pre-warning. Until then, no drama.